guys, I'm Laura Vitale. On this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I'm going to share with you a recipe called Eton Mess, which I'm sure all of you know what that is. It's a relatively new recipe to me. I've only heard about it not too long ago, and I mentioned it when I was making my meringues a few episodes ago. I mentioned that I stumbled upon this recipe a while back, and I've just been in love with it ever since. And everybody was like, share it with us, share us your version, which is very simple and basic and pretty much kind of the same as all the other ones you've seen out there. But since you wanted to see my version, you wanted to see it made here on Laura in the Kitchen, I just figured I love it. I'm in the mood to eat it today, so why not do it? The ingredients for it are very simple. You're gonna need some meringues. Now these are the ones I did buy today in a little bakery. If I had any of my homemade meringues on hand, I would prefer to use those because they're not as sweet, but that's okay. You're gonna need some fresh strawberries that have been chopped. You're gonna need a little bit of sugar, granulated, confection of sugar, balsamic vinegar, an orange, and some heavy whipping cream. That's it. I mean, but it's such a good, amazingly delicious dessert that anybody I've made it for has fallen in love with it. You kind of can't go wrong with crunch, sweet, tart, cream. I mean, seriously. So let's get going with the strawberries, actually. Now, I've got some strawberries here that I've chopped up, and to that, I'm going to add in some confectioner sugar. Some granulated sugar. You're going to want to taste the strawberries for sweetness before you go ahead and add the sugar, because depending on the time of year, whether they're in season or not, it's going to change a bit. So, I'm also going to add in a little bit of balsamic vinegar. Now, I found it super interesting that the recipe I read about, I read Eton Mess from, called for balsamic vinegar. Now, in Italy, we use balsamic vinegar and strawberries all the time. We use it for sweet. We make a syrup out of it. And a nice little drizzle in here works really well. So a little bit of that. And then I'm going to need the juice of a little bit of an orange, but I do need the zest for my cream, and it's always easier to zest before you juice. So I'm just going to zest some of my orange right in there. You don't need a whole lot. Perfect. Now I'm just going to grab a knife, and we're going to juice a little bit of it in the strawberries. And that's it. It's very, very, very simple. And I'm really excited to eat it because I do really like it. I'm just going to give this a really nice stir. You want to make sure everything is well combined. They look fabulous. And I'm just going to set these aside for a few minutes while we work on our cream. Now, I'm going to whip mine up with my handheld mixer just because I feel like it. Takes no time at all. If you want to do it by hand, you can, but let's face it, anybody got time for that? Not today, because I want to get to eating. So I'm just going to whip this up until it has got soft peaks, and I'll show you what to do next. My cream has thickened up a bit, but it's not totally there yet. And I'm just going to add in a little bit of confectioner sugar, not a lot, because you're going to crumble in the meringues, which are very, very sweet, especially if you don't make them yourself. You can't kind of control how much sugar goes in them. So just a little bit, and now just beat this up until it stiff peaks, but it still has a nice sort of amount of softness to it. You don't want it to be completely whipped because it'll turn into butter. You don't want that. That's great. It's whipped, but it's still got some movement to it, which is what I like. Now it's the fun part. I'm going to crumble in some meringues, which give it texture, and it's just sweetness. It's amazing. Amazing. I never knew that this recipe, was so good, because to be honest with you, I was like, oh, okay, well, cream, strawberries, meringues, probably really good. But once you eat it, it's like, how did I not have this combination my entire life? I just really feel cheated. And I feel cheated that no one told me about it. So I'm really excited to be able to share it with you. So just crumble them in. The amount is really up to you. You can add as many or as few as you like. I add about 6 to the batter, and then just a little bit on top. Got your meringues in. Now you're going to take the strawberry mixture, which once you let it sit for a few minutes, the sugar dissolves and it's perfection. We're going to take half of this, and I'm going to fold this all together. Oh, look at, just hear that. Just listen to that, because I know those crunch makes me so excited. And I love the pink rippling through it. This is going to be pretty phenomenal. Perfect. And this is how it goes. I'm just going to do one for now, but just a heads up. This dessert is amazing to do stages in advance. You can marinate the strawberries the morning before you go to work. If you feel like it, put your heavy cream in your standing mixer, let that whip up while you're drinking your coffee. Store them separately in your fridge. Come home from work. It's Wednesday now, you've got people coming around for dinner. Assemble it in 3 minutes and you've got an amazing dessert. So it's always handy to have these kind of things on hand or in your repertoire anyway to kind of make your life a little bit easier. Do you know what I mean? Just fill this up. Top it with a spoonful of the strawberries with the syrup, and then take a meringue and like just on top. I'm telling you, the combination made in heaven right here. And we're gonna dig into this immediately. Unbelievable. Great Valentine's Day dessert. Whether you're making it for just 2 or for a crowd, it just can't go wrong. Go to laurenkitchen.com to get the written recipe. I hope you've enjoyed spending time with me, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.